In today's episode, I'll show you how I built a plate holder for the 110-year-old camera. First I thought I can use the roll film holder for it, but when I looked closer there was just a glass plate there and I didn't want to damage it, and a lot of light would come in from this holder, so this is no option for me in that case. And then the holder for these funny plates, but as you can see there's no space and there's nothing I can do to use it as a plate holder. With no options left, I started to design one by myself. So I went to my favorite 3D designing website, Tinkercad, and started to design a plate holder that looked at the first moment very promising. As you can imagine, I was super excited, but first the 3D printer had to finish the print. And here we have the finished print. I think it looks really great, and the nice thing is it fits perfectly on the camera. That was something I didn't expect. Yeah, and here's already my first flaw. As you can see, there's a big gap, so the plate would touch the camera or the felt or what the cloth that is in here and would damage the camera, so I didn't like that. It would not touch the camera, but the silver nitrate could go easily onto the camera. So I started to design everything new and make it a little bit smaller. You see the holes here, they are from magnets. I will show you in a second what they are good for. After designing it, I started the print, and during the print I designed the lid for the plate holder. You can see there are also holes in there. I will show you in a minute what I'll do with them. And with the lid I also designed some inlays. These inlays will act as spacers, so I can focus on closer subjects with the camera. These are necessary because the camera is not made for focusing on closer subjects. Final print, and now I can finally show you how I put everything together. But first there's one of the most satisfying things to do to get rid of the support from the 3D print. I can't explain why, but it's really satisfying. The print looks pretty good, I'm happy with that, and as expected it fits again on the camera. And I'll show you in a minute that the gap is still there, but it's now much smaller. In case you're wondering, this little platform at the bottom makes it more light tight. You can see here now there's just a tiny gap, but I'm totally happy with that and I think it will work as expected. And now here is the lid. I had to file it down just a tiny little bit, but as you can see in a second, it fits perfectly onto the holder. And it will make it as light tight as expected. Maybe I'll just paint it later to make it more beautiful, but it looks really great. To prevent the lid from falling off, I will put everything together with magnets. I really love magnets. Honestly guys, who doesn't like magnets? I printed the opening so they just fit in, but to prevent them from getting off the print, I'll use some drops of super glue and glue them in. Let's make a quick time lapse and then I'll tell you more. So far I'm quite happy with my design because the magnets really fit in perfectly. The sound of magnets is so satisfying. It reminds me always like on bubble wrap or something like that. The last step is to put the magnets into the lid. I put them in a specific way so the lid only will fit in a specific direction. I think that makes sense later when I mount the spring for the plate holder. Now you can see what I mean. If you put it in the wrong way, the magnets will push it away. But as soon as you mount it in the right direction, it clicks in and holds as expected good together. And here you can see the magnets again, and the sound of magnets is really nice. Again, it fits perfectly on the camera. And with the bottom part I showed you before, I can lock it in place. And finally, I can show you what I can do with the spacers. I printed two different sizes at the beginning. I'm not sure if these are the right sizes. They snug in a little bit tight, but that's good because they will not move by themselves. And here you can see that the spacers moved my focal plane a little bit to the back. So what is up next? I need a ground glass, I need a mounting system for the camera on the tripod, and I also need some springs. But so far it looks really good. I'm happy with it, guys. So if you want to see what's coming up in the next part, subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so you don't miss anything when I upload my next video where I get screwed, so to say. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks a lot to my Patreon supporters, And as always, I'll be back, guys.